Okay, let's check out the other intro that I have, which is the Peter Bernstein intro for stablemates. This one. Maybe I should play the whole thing first. I think it makes more sense if I do it that way. Yes, that's it. Okay, let's just go over what's happening harmonically. I think this will be a YouTube video. I'm not sure about the other one, but this definitely. It follows the progression of stablemates precisely, which is surprising because I really didn't notice that when I transcribed it. But then, or when I listened to it. But then when I transcribed it and I was analyzing it, it's like, oh, this is just exactly the chord progression of the bridge of stablemates, which is F minor, right? G flat 7, G7, C7, B7, B flat 7, A7, A flat 7. That's exactly the progression that's here. And then he goes on with the A part, which is also exactly what's here. E minor, A7, E flat minor, A flat 7, D flat major, C7, 2 5 to G flat, C7. And now, originally, the chord progression would be F minor, B flat 7. So here's the first change. He plays F7 to B flat 7, but then back to the original E flat minor and A flat 7. The A flat 7 he is substituting by a tritone 2/5. And then he plays a extra turnaround. And then he substitutes E flat minor by E flat 7, and then he plays a 2 chord in front of that. So you get B flat minor, E flat 7, A minor, D7, D flat. Anyway, it's exactly the chord progression of stablemates, which is really interesting. And I'm sure that he was improvising it. Well, I'm not sure about it, but it sounds to me like he is. And I've heard him play many kind of intros, and it always sounds improvised. It also looks improvised, that he's thinking about it. It's amazing that he can do that and still follow the chord progression without deviating from it at all. And when he deviates with interesting harmonic devices like a tritone 2/5, something like that. So, F minor phrase. And then a phrase for G flat 7 with those nice double stops. Very usable during your regular improv. Just when you play chorus, you can use this phrase. Let's say on A7, right, or C, G7. So if you have a tune in C and you have a 2/5 in to C, you can play it on the G7. So then G7, he plays whole tone. If you play a whole tone scale for G, there is this thing where you're on the B string and the G string, you can use the same frets. Right? And he makes optimal use of it by playing double stops like that. Really nice. It's so obvious, but I've never seen it before. Although it must have been used many times. But this is the first time I actually saw somebody use it like that. And, you know, I use it myself too in improvs, because that's just a really amazing sounding way to use whole tone. So he does that. And also you hear the melody of stablemate here. And then he plays this really weird phrase for C7. With these double stops which end on a, well, you could say wrong, or you could say it's already signaling the next chord or anticipating the next chord, B7. But I think it's just a device, just a melodic device with these second intervals. I wouldn't spend too much time on it. It's just a variation on where it's very harmonic, and now it also sounds kind of funny, right? And then we get a great chord for B7, B7 sharp 11, and normally he played like this, which I play with my thumb. But now he wants that high B there, so then you get this voicing, which weirdly enough I never played before I played this intro. Then we get a great chord, which we also saw in the previous intro I was talking about, B flat 7, flat 9, sharp 11, with 3 open strings. Now you could play this chord many different ways. You could play it like it's written here, like a long note, or you could just play like that, or maybe start from the high strings, or do like a harp. In this intro there's many ways you can play it. I like also going from the high string to the low string like this. That also sounds great. Then we get a voicing for, well, the chord says A7, but he's actually playing A6. Now I'm not sure that he's playing this in the original recording. I changed some things because I like them better, or because they were easier to play with a pick. I remember he's playing something different here, but something very similar. So let's not spend too much time on it. Here we get A flat 7 whole tone. So there's 13 and what else is there? Is it A flat 7? Yeah, it should be A flat 7. Oh, that's a sharp 11. Yeah, it's actually sharp 11, but that's also part of the whole sound. So the scale here is again the whole tone scale. A flat 7 sharp 11. And then we're gonna go to the A part. I think that's a really smart way of playing E minor, A7, E flat minor 7, A flat 7 by having this kind of counterpoint. Really original stuff which I've never heard before. D flat major 7 here. To C7, and he plays C7 sharp 9, with this voicing is the same as this, right? So, but now played on the lowest 4 strings, which you might know from the tune Bruzette. The intro of Bruzette is like, oh, no, like, the Toet Tielemans plays that on the lowest 4 strings. So here you get it. Why? Because he wants to keep that A flat ringing, because it's part of the melody. And then again, melody again, and then we get this really great device for A flat minor. It's just the A flat minor arpeggio, but with slides and then double stops. But it's just notes from A flat minor. There's nothing really harmonically peculiar, but it just sounds great. And the person that really did this stuff a lot is Barney Kessel, of course. So I don't know if we got it from there. Now we get D flat 7, and you hear this B flat major arpeggio. But if you think a D flat under it, again it's an octatonic sound. I think. Think about this voicing. It's an octatonic voicing, like A7. That scale, now for D flat. That scale, whole tone, half tone. So we get just the B flat triad, so without the bass. And then another octatonic device. Now, Peter Bernstein is only playing the first chord, I remember, but I like just to emphasize the octatonal sound to play this chord every 3 frets, which you can do with octatonic because it's symmetrical. Again, octatonic is the scale where you play half step, whole step. So the first 3 chords are on the highest 4 strings, and then I play the same chord, but this is the way it looks on the middle 4 strings. So let me play the bar before again. Going to G flat 6, standard voicing, and a nice melodic phrase. Here we have that sharp 11 voicing again with the root also on the high strings. And then he plays. So here we have that F7, which is not original. Normally would be F minor. But he has this really nice counterpoint effect. Right? But it's just this voicing. Again, this voicing. But he plays it by first playing. So you create this nice counterpoint by just not playing the whole chord at once, but just approaching notes, playing parts of it first. Back to the theme. E flat minor. Normally the chord here would be A flat 7, but he plays A minor, D7, so tritone, but with counterpoint. So you get A minor, D7. Resolving to the 1 chord D flat. Turn around. B7 sharp 11, B flat 7 sharp 11, and then repeat that phrase, but with different chords. So that's the device for B flat minor. That device. So he's thinking B flat minor, E flat 7, and then repeat that A minor, D7, and then end of the intro. So the whole intro again. You can play it freely, you don't have to play it exactly in the rhythms that are here. Of course, you cannot play that. I think I synced, by the way, this PDF with the way I played it in the video. Of course, I play freely, so not always perfectly. But a good idea. If you watch this on YouTube, there's 2 ways to get the tab for this. One is in my Discord if you own a book of mine, not book 1, but book 2 or 3, 4, 5. Or I will post all of this stuff on my Patreon. So there's links to that in the description, or you could just learn it from the video, right? You don't have to get it. But if you want to get it from the Patreon, I will post it there for the 10 euros and up for now. But of course, after a while, it will be removed from there, and it will just be for the highest level. But if you watch this video within the first 2 months, 5 months that it was published, then you will still find it on Patreon, or you can find it in my Discord if you own one of my books, except for book 1. That's it. Subscribe, like the video as always. Okay, that was for YouTube. For the people that are watching in Discord.